Hi everybody, this is Victoria. Welcome back to another new episode of Discovering Art Together. Today we are going to discover and learn about Art Nouveau. So we're going to learn some of the important things and kind of asking the questions, what in the world is Art Nouveau? Is Art Nouveau very nouveau, which basically means new in French. So we're going to jump in to see what is Art Nouveau and also some of the ideals that the artists from this art movement had and what are their goals, and also kind of checking out what are the characteristics that makes Art Nouveau Art Nouveau. And then also we're going to check out what was really important that happened in this Art Nouveau art movement, and also checking out some of the famous and influenced artists that made all the difference in this particular art movement, and checking out to see who those particular artists are. So if you guys are ready to kind of discover more about Art Nouveau, let's get started. So our very first question is, what is Art Nouveau? Art Nouveau is basically a energetic and was a very new and compelling art style in visual arts that spanned over the 1890s until the First World War. So it kind of went around from 1890 to 1910 throughout Europe and the United States. So Art Nouveau artists were inspired by plant form and nature, took organic subjects and flattened and abstracted them into sophisticated and sinuous, basically meaning having like a lot of curves and turns to it, and flowing motives. Some common subjects they used for the forms of organic and natural subjects are flower stalks, buds, vine tendrils, insect wings, and also a lot of other delicate and sinuous natural objects. So they really love to embrace themselves to nature, wildlife, and just generally bringing out the true beauty of nature. And that kind of relates and gives us a better understanding of why Art Nouveau looks so elegant and beautiful. Now we're going to take a deeper dive and see what were the ideas and goals of those artists from Art Nouveau. The main idea of Art Nouveau is all art should be united. So many of the artists from Art Nouveau believed in unifying movement that surround and have within many different art forms and fields. So it's not just only one type of art, it's kind of like a combination, kind of unifying everything, right? And with the aim of modernize art and design, artists took inspiration from organic and natural forms that created elegant designs and with sinuous, asymmetrical curves and lines. So if you don't know what asymmetrical means, asymmetrical basically means it has two sides or two halves that are different in shape, in size, or in style. Okay, so now we have the idea of like what their goal is, what are those artists up to, and they want to kind of have a revolutionary way of actually unifying art, because making it universal, which I believe art should be very much universal, at that time they didn't want too many constraints or kind of boxing off and categorizing things, so they kind of wanted to have a lot more freedom and kind of just having a little bit of everything and kind of combining that all together. So here are some of the main characteristics of what makes Art Nouveau art Art Nouveau. So Art Nouveau has a lot of sinuous, which we kind of described earlier, so a lot of curves and turns in their flow of lines, so the long lines that they create and that continuous flow that they have. Also very organic shapes and subjects. Arches are also a very main characteristics of Art Nouveau. They love arches or arcs. Arches, I don't know, I've always called it arches. They're arcs. And curving lines, so that kind of connects with the sinuous, so it's kind of more or less the same thing. And sensual ornamentations, so kind of expressing a lot more of the aesthetically pleasing, and it makes it look really but makes it feel very good to look at. It's kind of like eye candy, you know? It's like, ooh, it looks really nice, really pretty. So let's check out some of the important stuff now about Art Nouveau and what was the big deal of what made Art Nouveau really fascinating and amazing. The natural world was the most important organic inspiration for Art Nouveau. So the artists were really, really rooted to the natural world, and basically the sensuous lines, which kind of what I mentioned earlier, lines, aesthetically pleasing lines, beautiful looking lines, and organic forms were designed to communicate and kind of give the tranquility and calming effects of nature. So they're connecting the viewers and like just the human society back to nature, and the drawings were so like analytically accurate, reflecting advance in biological knowledge. So they had such detail into the drawings that they did of natural plants, flowers, and insects. So just generally a lot of the nature, they had like a kind of like a botanical approach to it, but also making it very beautiful and aesthetically pleasing as well at the same time. So it's kind of like best of both worlds. Okay, and now we kind of finished off knowing what is Art Nouveau and also the ideas and goals that the artist had, and also characteristics about Art Nouveau and the important things that Art Nouveau was a big influence to for the future generations. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our famous and most influenced artists of this time that changed many of the future art movements and future generations of artists. So first we're going to take a look at Alphonse Mucha. So Alphonse Mucha was a Czech painter and illustrator. He was well known for his commercial posters. So he actually made a legacy and influence for the future generations and for artists in Art Nouveau, and paved the way for commercial graphic design and craftsmanship to be elevated to an art form that could be reproduced endlessly. So that's very amazing. We take a new way of approaching visual arts and kind of combining that with designs and stuff, and now a lot of the things that we see today in our graphic design and all that stuff, we do take immense inspiration from Mr. Mucha. And his artworks are very, very beautiful, very amazing. You should go check out his arts. One of his most famous one, I think, was Princess Hyacinth, and along with many other really beautiful artworks that he did. So feel free to check him out. The next is Antoni Gaudí. So Gaudí actually is an architect. So we probably know that very famous church in Barcelona, which is called Church of Sagrada Família. That is one of his most well-known masterpieces, and Gaudí helped the Catalan architect to worldwide fame and reputation. He was an architect design with a special ability to synthesize their own tradition and the courage to new technical solutions. He understood to integrate creative and plastic elements into his buildings. So he was a very revolutionary architect where he didn't just stick with the old-fashioned way of architecting. And he definitely brought in a lot of new ways of approaching and actually creating architect, which that's why it made the Sagrada Família so amazing. Like, that's probably one of the very first or second places that I want to go and visit if I do get a chance to go to Spain and Barcelona. Last but not least, we have Gustav Klimt. Gustav Klimt was an Austrian symbolist painter and one of the most prominent members of the Vienna Succession movement. So you must be wondering, what in the world is this Vienna Succession movement? Well, I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit to you what this is. It's an art movement that was very closely related to Art Nouveau, and their goal was to break conservative traditions that rooted themselves in history and create an internationalist, all-encompassing view of artist genres that was both contemporary and timeless. So there you go. That's what the Vienna Succession movement did. And also Klimt used a lot of decorative motives, flowing lines, and also organic forms in his works. His works were also very heavily influenced the Art Nouveau art movement. His delicate and detailed patterns and attention to decorative details were key elements of the movement, and his work were a source of inspiration for artists working in the Art Nouveau style. One of his very famous paintings or artworks and masterpieces is called The Kiss, and I'm pretty sure if you do take a look at this painting, you'll be like, oh, I know that one. Yeah, so this is by Gustav Klimt. We connected the dots, yay! Okay, and that is all for today. Thank you for joining in to this brand new episode and learning more about Art Nouveau. And I hope you guys kind of connected the dots with certain artworks and masterpieces that are like, oh, I've seen that before, but I don't know who that is. Like, where that came from or who it's by. So now we kind of discovered that, learned about that, and feel free to discover more. Do your own research, because that's going to be your mini exercise for today. We've had a little bit of intro of what Art Nouveau is, but there is so much more. So make sure you check out that and discover, do your own research, experiment, see if you want to learn more about specific artists from this era, or just kind of discovering more different artists, because it doesn't stop here with only these three main artists. There's many more from Art Nouveau to discover, so yeah, have fun checking that out. And thank you again so much for all your love and support, and if you guys want to check out more videos like this, I have other videos similar to this. The one before Art Nouveau was realism, so I do have like a video up here if you guys want to check it out. It's gonna be here or here. I think it's gonna be here, but yeah, feel free to check that video out and learn about what was the period before Art Nouveau, and feel free to click the subscribe button to get the latest updates when I release a brand new art video, because I release art videos every week, so don't miss out on that. And make sure to click the like button, that'll be super helpful, and also comment below if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to chat with you guys, share what I discovered, and also share what you discovered, because I would like to learn more. The more people we kind of research and all that stuff, the more we'll be able to discover together and share more knowledge with each other. So yeah, awesome. Well, have fun, happy painting, happy drawing. Feel free to add some of these new inspirations to your own artworks, and yeah, stay creative. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and we'll take a look and see what we'll learn next time together in this new Discovering Art Together series. Okay, awesome. I shall see you guys later. Till next week. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week. stay creative, have fun, bye!